on your own clocks. Let's share the track. Let's go fast. Drivers ready. Marshals ready. Call you by name. Kyle Kosek. Matt Kosek. Tony Mandella. Chuck Cottrill. Nate Anderson. Maddy Schmid. And Kendall Smith. It was a good fight in round one. We'll see if it's good again in round two. It was Team Kosek wire to wire, but Mandella and Cottrill put in good charges. Made it interesting, that's for sure, in round one. 19-5 out of the gate for Kyle. 19-9 for Matt. 19-3 for Chuck. Chuck Cottrill, the first hot lap. Always good to see Chuck Cottrill. Chuck rocking that yellow car with the orange trim, mismatched wheels. That's always good for a tenth of a second. Always good to have Chuck Cottrill. Chuck getting it just a little bit wrong on the straightaway. That's going to hand the lead over to Kyle Kosek. Team Kosek to the point. Kyle ahead of Matt, Tony Mandella, Chuck Cottrill, Nate Anderson, our top five. Nate's starting to pick up some pace, starting to figure this thing out. Nate, one of our up-and-coming racers here at Trackside. New hot lap of the race, and the lead goes to Matt Kosek. Team Kosek up at the point. Kyle started in front of Matt. You can see Matt chipping away. They're nose to tail. Through the sweeper goes Team Kosek. Kyle answers with a new hot lap of the race. 18-8 for Kyle. Gets mixed up with a little bit of traffic there, but everybody's going to be okay. Matt Kosek to the lead, but Kyle Kosek with hot lap right there. Team Kosek still out front. Tony Mandella holding down that 3 spot, clicking off some pretty good laps. Announcer's curse gets him at the end of the double-double. But Tony clicking off some good ones in that other blue, silver, and yellow car rolling around out there. Apparently the secret to 21.5 is to paint your car blue and yellow and silver. Maybe a little bit of white in there. You'll go fast. 2 minutes down, 3 to go. It's the Kosek show. Another good lap there for Matt. Kyle getting back on pace. Your leader going through that center section into the quad. It's Matt Kosek. Chuck giving him just a little bit of room. 2:20 down, 2:40 to go. Matt, Kyle, Tony Mandella throws in his hot lap. Mandella hanging on to that lead train. Now taking over the second spot with a new hot lap of the race for Tony right there. Tony's starting to get after it. Now up to the 2 spot, splitting up Team Kosek. Good lines coming off of Mandella. Extra aggressive through the trapezoid table. Using all the trackside dirt. Tony's starting to get after it here. 19-3 that time by. Kyle takes back a few tenths. Good race there. Tony Mandella and Kyle Kosek for the 2 spot. But with 3 minutes in and 2 minutes to go, your leader with a 5-second lead right now going to be Matt Kosek. Matt working through that keyhole section up to the quad. Good run working here for Matt. A little bit sloppy on the landing, but he saves it. Chuck doing everything he can do to work with the Koseks. Great drive in there. Leader's coming up on Kendall. Kendall will give him room. That's how it's done. Excellent drive in there. Kyle getting it just a little bit too tight, trying to get his way by. It happens. Part of the learning process, working the traffic. Little bobble there by Matt Kosek. It's going to get interesting here. Tony Mandella with a rough lap, though, going to take him out of that fight with 1:20 to go. It's just the Koseks left. Good lap there by Kyle. So it's going to be Kyle and Matt, 7 seconds ahead of Tony, Chuck, Nate, Maddy, and Kendall. Little bobble there by Kyle. Going to give the lead back to Matt, but it's going to be Team Kosek either way. 1 minute to go. Chuck, that's your best lap of the race. A sharp one there for Cottrill. Trying to get back in touch with Mandella for that 3rd spot. It's not over in the midfield. New hot lap of the race, Tony Mandella, 18-1. Tony pulls within 2.5 seconds of Team Kosek. Team Kosek going to have to keep it clean to the end if they want the win in this round. 18-8 for Kyle, 19-4 for Matt. Good laps off of Team Kosek, but Mandella shatters it with a 17-6. Tony Mandella means business here inside the last minute. Gets mixed up with Nate Anderson, but they move on. No marshals required, minimum time loss. It's going to come down to the end. Team Kosek got to keep their head down. Nose to tail, they go through the sweeper. Team Kosek going to have to get it done. Mandella trying to close in. They got 10 seconds to go. It's going to be Matt Kosek, Kyle Kosek, or Tony Mandella. Who's it going to be? They have 1 or maybe 2 more laps to go. Thanks, Hunter. 18-7 for Kyle. That's his best lap of the race. They're trying to escape Tony. Keep going, keep going. Tony Mandella, you are done. Everybody else keep going. Chuck Cottrill done. Mandella gets caught at the line. Keep going, Kendall Smith. You're going to get 1 more. Kendall going to put up his best run of the layout. Team Kosek escaping narrowly. Mandella made it close. This one going to go to Matt ahead of Kyle and Tony and Chuck. Nate Anderson and Maddy, we're still waiting on. Kendall Smith still racing. We're racing through the black car. Kendall Smith. Kendall going to do his best run of the layout. Kendall's starting to figure it out. Good race here for Kendall. That's a race. Matt Kosek, Kyle Kosek, Tony Mandella, Chuck Cottrill, Nate Anderson, Maddy Schmid, and Kendall Smith. Cottrill and Schmid improve.